Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today on Outer Limitless lights with a couple of fantastic products from the company Wurkkos. So here the TD07, here the TS23. I've been playing with this TS23 a little bit at this point. Definitely nice tactical style, yet EDC at the same time, maybe a little bit larger than what some people would like for an EDC light, but you can see definitely having some tactical flair. Now, both of these having the tactical flare. So if you're somebody looking for a nice quality tactical style flashlight, there may be something here for you. Now keep in mind the fact that here with the TD07 going to be smaller, having 1300 maximum lumens, 479 meters of throw. Here the TS23, much larger, 5000 maximum lumens, but at the same time 482 meters of throw. So the beam focus, the candela, a little bit different on these. So you may determine that one of these operates better for you. So at this point, breaking out the TD07, which has all the typical things that you would expect. User's manual, your charging cable, USB Type-C, spare O-rings for the spare O-ring collection, and the flashlight itself. Take a look at this, nice and compact. Very smooth on the reflector, and that's part of the main thing is inside the TS23, more of that orange peel, so you can see more of like an orange peel reflector, which will disperse the light versus the very smooth reflector of the TD07. Now, if you're interested in other Wurkkos videos, look at my Outer Limitless primary channel, where historically I covered all of my flashlights. But at this point, I've migrated all my flashlight coverage to here on Outer Limitless lights. So this is where you're going to get all the future reviews. But my primary channel and also my Outer Limitless 2 channel had a number of great flashlight reviews. So if you want to see a little bit more, check out those channels. The links are below. But unthreading the tail cap here, very smooth in terms of the threads, nicely done. And you can see here the 18350 battery, which is pretty much a CR123. This is rechargeable, of course, 1100 milliamp hours, 3.7 volts, and a very compact little package. Now right away you can see that this does offer multiple positions on that tail switch. So in the middle, fully locked out. You can see it will allow you to get into that moonlight mode. Just to blip on that, won't stay locked on, but you can definitely use that with the moonlight mode, which I think is great. It's not like something that's going to melt your pocket. It's not going to be that super high intensity, and it's certainly not going to drain the battery. So all in all, the fact that in the lockout mode, you can still leverage the moonlight, I do like that. Now here, operating to the left, that gives us access to our tactical modes. So a little half press here. That's going to be your turbo mode. Right away with the ability to go straight to that turbo mode, but then a deep press is your strobe. So if you're somebody that wants that tactical application, again, having the high and then that strobe, very effective. Now I can feel the heat. Definitely a nice, tight, and concentrated beam. Right down on the surface there, you can see that hot spot. That's a good blast of light. Now, even though this little flashlight's only putting out 1300 lumens, that is 57,250 candela. And I always feel like candela is king, and that is certainly the case here with the TD07. So that's how such a small light with a fairly low overall lumen output is capable of beaming so far. The concentration of that LED, the concentration of that reflector, and the ability to punch that light out concentrated at distance, again, translating to around 479 meters of throw, 57,250 candela. Now from here, rotating to the right, this will be your outdoor mode. Now this operates a little bit different where you're going to operate off of half press. So if you long hold the half press here, that will come on in the moonlight mode. And you can really now see how concentrated that beam is. That's kind of what I'm saying, that centralized hotspot doing a great job to punch. Now here, 2 lumens on that moonlight mode, 75 hours of runtime, 160 candela. Another little half press here. This is going to be the low mode, 20 lumens, 900 candela, 22 hours of runtime. Another little half press. That half press there going into the medium mode, 240 lumens, 3 hours of runtime, 10,000 candela. Another half press, the high mode, 700 lumens, 30,625 candela. So at this point, I'm going to double click. That's going to be the turbo mode, 1300 lumens, 57,250 candela. This will run for around 2 minutes and then dim down to 700 lumens for 45 minutes. And you can see now, clicking half press back through the modes, this will now go low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Single press, off. Excellent operation, very nice. Quick double click here, even with the light off, goes straight into that turbo mode, and then again, that long press holding it down, back into that moonlight. Double press, and then when you single press back through the modes, it remembers where you were, and then goes low, medium, high. So again, excellent programming on the TD07, excellent performance on a tiny little light. Now the TS23 also having multiple modes. This comes by default in what's called the outdoor mode. And so this operation, very simple. I'm going to start by long pressing on the tail cap here. So here you can see this comes in the moonlight mode. Moonlight, 10 lumens, 300 hours of runtime, 120 candela. And this will still punch out around 22 meters. Another long press here. This is the eco mode. Eco mode, 50 lumens, 45 hours of runtime, 539 candela. Another long press, low mode, 300 lumens, 11.5 hours of runtime, 3,217 candela. Another long press, medium, 800 lumens, 6.5 hours of runtime, 8,583 candela. Another long press to high, 1,800 lumens, 3.75 hours of runtime, 21,008 candela. And now a double press. That is going to be turbo, 5,000 lumens, 2.5 hours of runtime, 58,083 candela. Now at this point, if I single press, that's going to step back down, single press off. Or with it in the turbo mode, I can double click. That's going to go right back down to that moonlight mode. Double click turbo, double click moonlight. Or again, if I'm in that turbo mode, a long press will go back into the eco, low, medium, high, eco, low, medium, high, single click off. Now you also have your alternative modes, 1, 2, 3. That's going into the strobe, 1, 2, 3. That's going into your SOS, 1, 2, 3. That's going to go into your beacon. And then again, single click, back off. Now, if you want to get into the tactical mode, it does change the way the light operates. So with the light on, we are going to click 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll see that that now flashes. This will basically go medium mode, turbo only, and then a long press for the moonlight. So long press here, that's going to be your moonlight mode. Now, once you press again, long hold, that's medium, long hold turbo, long hold medium, long hold turbo. So at this point, you've pretty much eliminated the vast majority of your settings to simply have, in essence, a long press with the light off to get to your moonlight, then every other mode being medium or turbo. Quick double press now becomes those alternate modes. So between your strobe, double press SOS, double press beacon, at this point, you've pretty much simplified this light and you've removed a lot of those intermediate modes, which for me might actually be the best way to run this. I do actually very much like that. And I like the fact that, very simple, you get between your medium mode. So, medium, get around. What do you need to do? Hey, what's that over there? Long press, turbo, blast. Oh, nothing. Long press, back to medium, walk around, very simple. And then if you need to, and you're like, oh, I just need to read something easy, long press, moonlight mode. Hey, what's that? Long press, medium, long press, turbo. So it's just hard to say depending on your needs and how you want to run the light, what your overall objectives are, but definitely a few different ways you can go. Now, in this particular case, nice pocket clip, very nicely done. And then you have the glass breaker beads right on the front of that bezel. So a little more aggressive here on the TS23, but this TD07, just so compact, so cool. I like that you have the combination pocket clip ring. Very simple, a little bit fidgety. You can kind of just, play around with this, and it's so compact and easy. Just a real cool and neat little light. And so either way you go, fantastic products from the company Wurkkos. The TD07, the TS23, vastly different, but both with their own fantastic characteristics. I love the small form factor of the TD07. I just love how it fits in my hand, and the fact that even with that, you get excellent overall performance. Just a cool little and unique light. Definitely a neat little light, and something I can say, I think I'm going to enjoy this quite a bit for its compact size yet overall capability. But there's no denying that 5,000 lumen output, the nice quality beam, and the ability to change the modes on the TS23, very enjoyable. I do very much like the 21700 battery. I think that works out very well. I like having a little more punch, a little more performance, the overall run times that you get, but it is a little bit big. Some of you aren't going to like fitting this in your pocket, and it does not come with that carry sheath. So you would maybe need an alternate means to carry this if you're not somebody willing to put a head of that size in your pocket. So the only other thing I would say about the TD07, it takes a little getting used to, having that half press. It's something that, just takes a little bit of practice, but once you get used to it, I think it should work just fine. It's not a deep press. That's the weird thing, because the deep press is off. I keep going to press that all the way in and it doesn't turn on. It's just that little half press there that gets you between those modes, so it's simple. But either way, again, awesome flashlights. Thank you for following along here on Outer Limitless Lights. Thank you to the people at Wurkkos who did provide these for review. Look in the description box below where you can find all of the relevant links for where you can find your own Wurkkos products. Whenever possible, I put affiliate links or try to put discount codes. So look in the description box below. And if you like this content, do me a favor. Take a look at my Outer Limitless family of channels. I have everything here on Outer Limitless. So thanks again for following along on my Outer Limitless Lights channel. I appreciate it, guys. Take care now. I'll see you soon.